This is a rather unknown science fiction film which was produced with a small budget and mostly unknown actors, although a supporting role was played by Sean Astin, who's best known for his performance as Samwise Gamgee in the critically acclaimed trilogy The Lord of the Rings. Hello, and welcome back to another installment of Film Friday, in which I review a new film every single week. This week we're looking at the 2023 film entitled The Shift, starring Neil McDonough and directed by Brock Heasley. Let's get into it. The story of this film follows a former hedge fund manager, Kevin Garner, who has become distanced from his wife after the mysterious disappearance of their son. After a devastating car accident, Kevin is pulled to safety by a mysterious stranger, who identifies himself as the Benefactor and reveals that he has pulled or shifted Kevin into an alternate reality. Soon after, Kevin realizes that the Benefactor is actually Satan, the totalitarian ruler of this parallel universe in which Kevin is now trapped. In this world, the Christian Bible and even prayer itself is strictly forbidden, so Kevin writes down whatever passages from scripture he remembers, distributing them to the other inhabitants through his friend. As time goes on, Kevin's main goal becomes to return to his original universe and reconcile with his wife, Molly. In order to do this, he develops a plan to steal one of the deviators which the shifters carry, in order to travel between the various universes and return home. This film was distributed by the independent media company Angel Studios, which has been behind other projects such as Sound of Freedom and Bonhoeffer. Now, I found the concept of this film to be quite an interesting one. The idea of parallel universes to our own, which are controlled and moved through by Satan and his soldiers, is compelling. And there was a nice, but sadly predictable twist towards the end of the film. But my main issue with The Shift is that it did not fully deliver on its interesting premise. And unlike with some other low-budget independent films that I've discussed in the past, this one did a poor job of hiding its monetary restrictions. For instance, the CGI, which was used quite frequently throughout the film, didn't look that great. But besides having issues with the more technical aspects of the film, I found that the writing and the story were almost unnecessarily bad. For instance, there was far too much narration, relying solely on telling us the story rather than showing it to us. The runtime was also longer than it needed to be, sitting at close to 2 hours. It easily could have been 20 to 30 minutes shorter and still told us everything which they wanted to fit into that plot. Simply not enough happens in the story to justify a runtime of that length, and instead it was padded by useless narration and unnecessary repetition. That said, I did find the acting performance of Neil McDonough as the Benefactor to be quite impressive. He certainly fit the role quite well as a coldly sinister creature. That and Sean Astin's performance as Kevin's friend were some of the highlights of the film. So overall, I was kind of disappointed by what The Shift ended up as. I do believe it could have been a significantly better film in the hands of a different writer, and risen above the limitations of its small budget. With that being said, thank you for watching. Be sure to comment your own thoughts on this film below, and don't forget to subscribe for more movie commentary and reviews.